Oh, thank you, Tommy. Wait a minute, Shufro. You got your prepositions mixed. That's not attorney-in-law. That should be attorney-at-law.
You sure, boss?
Sure, I'm sure. At-law.
All right, but it must be something new. I never heard of it. I suppose when I get married, I'll get me a mother-at-law.
That's different, Shufro. In-laws are relatives and at-laws are lawyers.
Well, Daisy Bell's uncle's a lawyer. Won't that make him my uncle-at-law?
No, it won't. And besides, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. On the wages I'm paying, you won't be able to get married for a long time.
Say, how about attorney bylaw?
Bylaw? What's that?
I don't know, but the Constitution of my lodge is full of bylaws.
Look, when I join your lodge, we'll make that attorney bylaw. In the meantime, would you mind having that sign read attorney-at-law?
Okay. Anyhow, you couldn't get into my lodge. You'd be white-balled.
You know, it was sweet of Mrs. Carter to send me this petunia.
Sure was. After all you did for her was to work night and day for 6 months to keep her husband out of jail.
Well, I couldn't charge her anything. She's a poor old lady.
All I know is she pays the dentist, she pays the grocer, she pays the butcher. What do you get? One smelly petunia.
Well, if I'd have sent her a bill, I wouldn't have been able to sleep nights. This way, my conscience is free and clear.
Be better if you could say the same for your automobile.
You handle the broom around here, Shufro. I'll handle the business.
I suppose being kind-hearted gives you a lot of pleasure, but don't forget eating can be a lot of fun, too.
We'll eat eventually. Rome wasn't built in a day, you know.
It wasn't? What delayed it? Union trouble?
No, they just didn't have Henry Kaiser around. Now, Shufro, I want you to put my name in big... Hey, it's Janie and her father. Do I look all right?
Why?
That's important. I'm going to ask Mr. Brown if I can marry Janie.
Does he know about your financial situation?
Well, what's the difference? Money isn't everything. Is that the ambulance?
It ain't the school bell.
Hey, wait a minute. Here's my card. Get going.
Right. Go!
Dad, don't be such a sourpuss. All I'm asking you to do is look at his office and wish him luck.
Why you waste your time on a man like that when there are fellas like Bill Potts around?
Because he owns everything else in town and I don't believe in monopolies. Now, come on. I suppose it'd be too much to ask you to smile.
Janie!
Hello, Dick.
Hello, Mr. Brown.
Hello. Nice office. Good luck.
Thanks. That makes me feel very good.
Goodbye. Janie, pick me up about 4.
You know, Janie, I may be sensitive, but I have a feeling your father doesn't like me.
Oh, he likes you all right, but not as a son-in-law. Of course, if you ever get to be successful, he may change his mind.
Say, if I ever get to be successful, I may change my mind. Do you ever think of that?
Listen, mister, if you ever change your... What was that? Come on.
Look what you've done, you idiot.
I'm awful sorry, mister, but...
Dad, what happened?
What happened? He was just driving on the wrong side of the street without brakes, that's all.
That's a direct violation of paragraph 67.
Our car was standing right here. He should have seen it a block away. What's the matter? Are you blind?
Oh, no. It's always kind of fuzzy, but if I squint, I can see pretty good.
Let me see your driver's license.
Oh, well, I haven't got one yet, but as soon as I do, I'll send it to you.
Well, you can't get away with this. I'll sue you for everything you've got.
Dad, why don't you let Richard handle this case for you? All the witnesses are right here.
Why, yes, that's my specialty, sir, accident cases. Why, that man is so guilty...
All right, I'll give you a chance. This is such an open and shut case, I guess even you could win it.
Thank you, Mr. Brown, thank you. In his wild race down the main thoroughfare of our glorious city, this man deliberately violated not 1, not 2, but 14 of our traffic regulations. And yet he has the unmitigated gall to appear in this chamber of justice and beg for mercy. Was he merciful when he sent his truck careening madly down the street? Was he merciful when he completely demolished the property of my client? Gentlemen of the jury, I ask you to look once again at Exhibit F. This photograph taken immediately after the collision. Study it closely, gentlemen, and then ask yourselves how lenient you should be with a man who is so cruel and vicious.
Clark, you sure make a good speech.
Thank you.
I have a feeling you're going to win. How much do you think it'll cost me?
Oh, about $500.
500, eh? Well, I guess I'll just have to sell him a farm.
Well, I don't think that'll be necessary. I'm sure that my client will make some arrangement whereby, well, say you can pay $50 a month.
That's all I make a month. Besides, I gotta feed my family. Seems a shame they gotta suffer just because the garage man wouldn't trust me for new brakes.
Yes, it does.
But I suppose the law is the law. I don't know where we'll go or what we'll do. But after all, that's not your concern.
No, it isn't.
Will counsel for the plaintiff please continue?
Yes, Your Honor. Now that you've seen the photograph again, gentlemen, I'm sure you will agree that this unfortunate man was partially to blame. And furthermore, Your Honor, we withdraw the case.
Case dismissed. Next case.
Well, you've done it now.
I couldn't help it, Choufreau. It's a case of noblesse oblige, as the French would say.
I don't care what the French would say, it was dumb.
It's never dumb to do the right thing.
What's the right thing got to do with it? Name me 3 lawyers who become successful doing the right thing. As the French would say, au contraire, Mr. Clark, au contraire.
Choufreau, as the French would say if they could speak English, I'll thank you to keep your big mouth shut and your nose out of my business. S'il vous plaît. Au revoir, Choufreau.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Richard.
Hello, Mr. Brown.
I just wanted to congratulate you on the way you handled the case. It was masterful.
And you're not sore?
Sore? Why should I be sore? The object of the law is to temper justice with mercy, isn't it?
Well, that's the way I've always looked at it, but I didn't think you'd see it that way.
Well, all I know is that all the great lawyers have seen it that way. Abraham Lincoln would have seen it that way.
Well, Lincoln.
I'll go even further. Wendell Willkie would have seen it that way.
Willkie.
And I'm glad my future son-in-law sees it that way.
Oh, then you know about Janie and me? And you approve?
Well, to tell you the truth, I hadn't made up my mind until today. But the way you handled that case decided me. It was the straw that broke the camel's back, as you might say.
Father!
Yes, but we mustn't be too hasty. I must make sure, after all, that my confidence is justified.
Well, naturally, and I want to prove that I can take care of Janie.
And I know you can. But you need a bigger field. Pottsville is too small for a man of your caliber. What you ought to do is to go to New York and make a name for yourself.
New York? Say, that's where Willkie went.
Exactly.
Hey, that's an idea. Yeah. Lincoln, Willkie, and Clark. Not a bad combination.
Marvelous.
Darling, I hate to see you go, but I know you're going to make good New York.
Well, Pottsville's gain will be New York's loss. I mean, Pottsville's loss will be New York's gain. Gee, New York. I'll bet in about 6 months I'll be paying income tax the same as everybody else.
And then we can get married, and you won't have to pay so much income tax.
Oh, boy. And maybe someday we'll have a couple of $400 exemptions running around the house.
All right, break it up.
Oh, well, I'd better be going anyway.
I'll take it.
Oh, no, you don't. You've got a lot of packing to do. I'll be down at the station tomorrow morning to see you off. Good night, darling.
That's all right, officer. We were all through anyway.
Good night, darling.
Good night.
I heard what you said about those $400 exemptions.
Oh, yeah? Well, what about it?
Why, you got it all wrong, fella. Under the new tax bill, the government's going to charge you $400 for each kid. And don't say I didn't warn you.
I beg your pardon. I'm sorry.
That's okay, Mr. Clark.
Oh, hello, Shufro.
Well, I did what you told me to. I moved all those law books out of our ex-office into my room.
Well, I hope it isn't crowding you.
Oh, a little, but I don't mind. I've slept 8 books in a bed before.
But it won't be for long. We're leaving for New York in the morning.
New York? You mean that place right outside of Harlem?
It's 9 o'clock, Mr. Clark.
Ouch! All right, Miss Crockett, I'm getting up.
Mr. Clark's office? Oh, no, he hasn't come in yet. Yes, sir. I'll tell him the moment he comes in. Don't worry, he'll take care of it.
That man want the rent again?
Uh-huh.
He must live in a dream world.
I think it's absurd. After all, we're only 3 months behind.
Did you explain to him that owing to a lack of clients, Mr. Clark hasn't finished paying for the office
Yes,
furniture
but
yet?
he's very unreasonable. He just won't take no for an answer.
He'll learn. Yes. Here's for stoves. That heats up the stuff. See? It's for the coffee. We ain't got enough.
Mr. Clark's office. The tailor. He's out of town and he won't be back for a month or so.
Uh-oh. You get by, but barely.
Wrong number.
Good morning, Shufro.
Good morning, boss.
Coffee ready?
Not quite. That coffee's so weak it can't even jump through the percolator.
When you hear the tone, the time will be 9:11.
Well, good morning, boys. How are you this morning? Look at them, Shufro. Aren't they cute?
They sure are. And with our food supply going the way it has been, they'll even look better on toast.
Oh, you're always complaining.
Who's got a better right to? Here I was sitting pretty in Pottsville, and you come along with a lot of sweet talk and lured me to the big city, telling me about the bright lights and the people I'd meet. Who did I meet? You. I met you in Pottsville.
By the way, did Miss Crockett say were there any clients called this morning?
We don't discuss that subject anymore. A man can hope for just so long.
Now, don't be a pessimist, Shufro.
I'm not a pessimist, but I think 4 months without a paying customer gives me the right to be just a wee bit doubtful.
But what about Paxton? He was a paying customer.
What about him? He hasn't paid you yet, has he?
Well, I've been sending him a bill every month. Next month, I'm going to put please remit on it. Shufro, an ambulance.
Sounds close, too.
Hey, Shufro, a card, the card.
That's right.
Hurry up.
That way.
Take the express, not the local.
Here's a telegram, Mr. Clark.
Is it paid for?
How do you think I got it?
Thanks.
What's the matter?
This is the end, Shufro. This is the end.
Give me the details gently.
Janie's father's coming to New York on business, and Janie's coming with him.
You'll be glad to see him, won't you?
Yes, of course. But what about my beautiful Park Avenue apartment?
Yo, what?
They think I live on Park Avenue.
Where'd they ever get that idea? Something you wrote, no doubt.
Well, I couldn't tell them how things were really going, could I? I tell you, Shufro, it's all over. When Janie finds out I've been lying.
Maybe you could scrape together enough to rent a place for a week.
No, you can't rent by the week on Park Avenue. The least I could get would be a sublet for a month.
How much is that gonna cost?
A lot more than the $3 I've got in my pocket. Hey, I just happened to think of something. What about my life insurance? I could borrow on that.
That's it, boss. You're in the clear now.
Breathtaking, isn't it?
Oh, it's all right.
Only $450.
Now it's breathtaking.
It's a sacrifice. And another advantage in being up so high is that you have absolute peace and quiet. It's so restful of an evening to sit...
And this time I mean it. I'm going to leave you so flat you're going to look like a blown-out tire.
You're leaving me? What do you think this is? I'm packing a picnic lunch? Of all the suspicious, distrustful, just because a girl is manicuring my nails.
Well, she didn't have to sit in your lap to do it, did she?
The neighbors in the next apartment seem to be having a little spat.
Oh, so that's what they call it on Park Avenue.
Look who's talking. You're no Little Red Riding Hood yourself, sister.
Little Red Riding Hood had nothing on me. I married the wolf.
$450, eh?
Yes.
How much down?
$450.
Oh. And when would you want it?
Now. You see, Mr. Clark, my client has had unfortunate experiences subletting, so he insists on complete payment before occupancy.
Well, of course, I'm not in the habit of carrying $450 worth of change around with me.
No. Oh, well, when I said now, I didn't mean just this moment, Mr. Clark. If you can assure me that your check will be in my office this afternoon, I feel perfectly free to give you the key right now.
Thank you.
Sorry if I offended you, Mr. Clark, but we agents have to be awfully careful.
28B.
You'd be surprised the number of people who rent apartments like these and then can't pay for them.
Really? I don't know why you went to a hotel. I have plenty of room.
That's what I told Dad.
Well, we're only going to be here for a day or so. There's no sense putting you to a lot of trouble.
I know, but I think it's silly to throw money away. Wait till you see the apartment. You'll love it. Beautiful antiques, gorgeous view.
Good evening.
Hello, Shufro. Good to see you again.
Thanks. Won't you come in?
I told you, 28B, you've got the wrong apartment. Come here.
Richard!
Yes, dear? I'm telling you, you got the wrong apartment.
You wouldn't think so if you looked in the other one. The real estate agent's in there. It seems you promised him some money that didn't materialize.
But I couldn't get the money from the insurance company until 5 o'clock. Didn't you tell him the check was in the mail?
Yes, sir. And that's when he laughed at me. It seems he looked up your credit rating and it was marked 4F.
Well, it's a good thing we didn't go in there. One word from him, the cat would have been out of the bag.
That's what I figured. So I talked it over with the elevator man, and he told me the people who lived in here had a fight today and left.
Oh, then you sublet this place, huh?
Well, sorta. I sublet myself into the kitchen window, and here we are.
Richard!
Coming, dear. Well, do you like it?
Oh, it's beautiful, but I thought you said it was filled with antiques.
Oh, well, these are what you call futuristic antiques. After all, about 500 years from now, they will be antiques, and there's nothing like getting in on the ground floor.
Yes, sir. You've got a mighty nice place, Richard.
Well, if it wasn't for that pep talk you gave me, I might still be in Pottsville, living in a back room someplace. So I guess I owe it all to you. Anyway, I owe it all.
Well, I flatter myself I can always spot a man with talent.
Champagne!
Yes, I thought it'd be nice to sip some wine and have a bit of caviar. Much better than going to a noisy nightclub.
Richard! Why, what's the matter?
Oh, I was just going to show you the view from the balcony. Look, dear. Isn't it lovely?
Oh, it's beautiful. This is where I want to spend our honeymoon. When does it start, Dick?
Well, I can't get married for at least a month.
Oh, Richard. Richard?
Yes, what is it?
You're wanted on the phone. Just a minute. He's coming right away.
Who is it?
Mr. Rockefeller.
Mr. Rockefeller?
Yes, Mr. Rockefeller.
Fine time of night to be calling me. Who does he think he is, anyway? Hello? Which Rockefeller is this, Nelson or Winthrop?
Shufro Rockefeller, of the southern branch of the family. Just call me Junior for short.
Yeah? Well, look, I'll take care of it first thing in the morning, Junior. Yeah. Rockefeller can't make a move without me. What did he do before I came to New York?
What's Mr. Rockefeller like?
Yes, what's he like?
Well, he's quite a card. Now, you may not believe this, but the first... Hello? Oh, hello, Sam. Sam Goldwyn.
Sam Goldwyn?
I don't know if I can do Sam Goldwyn. He and I don't speak the same language.
Now, look, Sam, if I told you once, I told you 1,000 times. I told you last month. I told you last week. I told you yesterday, and I'm telling you again today. Now, goodbye.
What did you tell him?
Huh? What difference does it make? He won't believe me.
Here you are, Bud. Keep the change.
And I didn't mean all those nasty things I said, dear.
Oh, that's all right, honey. We're back together again, and that's all that matters.
They're back. Who? The people on the apartment upstairs.
Oh!
What do we do now?
You go and phone the sad tidings, and I'll go up and get them out.
Let it ring.
But it might be someone important.
What do you mean it might be? It is someone important. That's the trouble with being a famous New York lawyer, no privacy. Now that's enough. That's overdoing it. Who's ringing the phone?
I think you better answer it.
Hello?
Mr. Clark, the couple that split up have made up, and now they're coming up.
What? Well, stop them. I don't care how you stop them. Well, I'll see what I can do about it.
Anything the matter, Dick?
Something wrong?
No, why should there be anything wrong? I feel wonderful. You know, I just put over the biggest deal I ever made in my life. I think we ought to celebrate. How about going to a nightclub?
Swell. How about the Copacabana? I hear they have a wonderful rumba band there.
Yes, they have a wonderful rumba band there.
And a mighty nice cover charge, too.
What's the difference as long as we get away from all this?
I'll get my hat.
Yeah, come on, let's get going.
You two children go ahead, and I'll wait for you.
But no, I wouldn't think of it. Why, half of the fun is having you with us, Father.
Well, that's awfully nice of you, Richard. But with my arthritis, I'm afraid my rumba days are over.
Well, what are you talking about? The rumba's marvelous for arthritis.
It sure is, Mr. Brown. Look, it goes like this.
Now, you see, that movement takes the creaks out of the joints. And that takes the joints out of the crease.
No, I don't think my doctor would subscribe to that theory.
And Father, believe me, your arthritis is as close to my heart as it is to your bones.
Well, I appreciate your feelings, Richard, but I'd rather stay here if you don't mind.
Well, I do mind. Now, look, Mr. Brown, I've taken just about enough from you. When I was in Pottsville, you wanted your daughter to marry Bill Potts. But do I hold a grudge? No. I invited you to New York. I wined you. I fed you caviar from Mr. Vanderbilt's private sturgeon. And when I asked you to go to the Copacabana with me, what do? You stab me in the back. Well, I'm not going to stand for it. I don't care if your joints creak or your crease joint. You're going with us. Now, come on.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Janie.
Why, Richard, you're just like a tiger.
Am I?
Wouldn't you like to go through the kitchen?
Yes, let's go through the kitchen.
Well, why should we go through the kitchen?
Now, wait a minute. First you stabbed me in the back, and now you don't want to go through my kitchen.
Yes, why shouldn't we go through the kitchen?
Well, then let's go through the kitchen.
Now, the girl in this book doesn't get paid either. But she doesn't mind because at least the boss gets fresh with her every now and then. What have I got to look forward to?
Being dispossessed, most likely.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Confessions of a Private Secretary. Oh, biography, eh?
Sort of.
I was sitting there reading my book when the boss came in, leaned down, and lightly kissed the back of my neck. He kissed her.
On the back of the neck.
Sounds interesting.
Yes.
When you get through with it, lend it to me, will you?
Did you get Miss Janie and her father off on the train all right?
Yes, and I'm certainly glad they've gone. Now I can get back to business.
Back to what?
Well, no use opening these. They're all bills. Any news this morning?
Don't tell me you've run through all that money you borrowed.
Yeah. After I took them to the Copacabana, they wanted to go every place. 21 Rainbow Room, Store Club. I tried to tell them the Store Club was a maternity hospital, but they wouldn't believe me.
What's going to happen now? What's going to become of that Park Avenue apartment we got?
Well, if things don't get any better, I'm going to open up a bingo game there in the afternoons. Hey, what about Paxton? Any word about that $250 he owes me?
Word? Not even a syllable.
I'm going to get him on the phone right now. There they are, Shufro. Look at them. Always on time, never miss a meal.
Oh, for the life of a bird.
Hello? Hello, Mr. Paxton. Who? Telephone company commercial department. I don't want to talk to you. Oh, you want to talk to me? Yes. Yes, I see. From now on, I can only get the incoming calls. All right, goodbye. How do you like that? Over a measly telephone bill, they've cut off my outgoing calls.
You mean I can't hear that beautiful time signal anymore?
Take this note to Mr. Paxton.
Yes, sir. Joe Lewis will hear about this.
Of course, it's not that I need the money. It's just that I have so many chains.
I know. I got a lot of them, too. I'll give you $4 for it.
$4? Listen, when my father gave this to me, he told me it was worth 25.
Just goes to show you. You can't even trust your own father. Well?
I'll take it.
Here you are. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, Mr. Clark, do you mind if I take some time off this afternoon? I want to get my hair done.
No, of course not. Go right ahead. What are you doing?
We had a piece of sugar around here someplace. Oh, say, boy, long distance operator 82 wants you to call her back.
Long distance? Operator 82, please. Oh, Richard Clark, Endicott 84731. A call from Pottsville? Must be Janie about the wedding. I don't know what to say to her. Yes, I'll hold it.
Oh, say, boss, I got a letter this morning from a cousin of mine down in Georgia. He says they threw him in jail for fortune telling. They can't do that, can they?
No, of course not. There's no law against fortune telling. How'd it happen?
Well, it seems he predicted the death of a man who was messing around with his girlfriend, and the man died.
Well, that was obviously a case of...
Hello, darling.
Janie!
How's the famous New York lawyer today?
Fine. Things were never better. The clients are just pouring in.
Well, I'm very busy, too.
Good. Keeps your mind off things.
Yes, I'm very busy planning our wedding.
Not so good.
You know, darling, the 15th isn't so far away.
No, it isn't. It comes right after the 14th, doesn't it?
Oh, sweetheart, I'm so happy about it.
Me too. I'm jumping for joy.
Now, look, Richard, I'm planning to come to New York on the 12th. We'll get married on the 15th and spend our honeymoon in your apartment.
In my apartment? What'll I do now?
Hello.
Hello, I'm still on the phone, Janie. I'm just thinking something lovely.
Number 3 routine, busy office.
We did that. I'm still thinking there.
Number 6, bad connection.
Good. Well, darling?
Yes, sweetheart.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, certainly.
Janie?
Hello?
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 Hello, Janie.
What's the matter?
Janie, hello.
Hello?
Hello?
This is a bad connection. What did you say?
I said I want to leave on the 12th, and I want to know if you've prepared everything for the wedding.
Look, Janie, can you hear me?
Oh, Richard, I can hear you as clearly as though you were in the next room. I'm going insane.
You're going where?
I'm going insane.
I didn't get the name.
Oh, forget it. What I want to know is everything set for the wedding?
Look, darling, I love you dearly. You know I love you.
And I love you too.
I said I love you.
Yes, I understand you love me.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Oh, I'll send you a telegram.
Hello?
Goodbye.
That's the most contemptible thing I ever did. Treating the girl I love like a creditor. I never thought I could sink that low. How can I have any respect for myself? How can I look myself in the face? I'm a skunk, that's what I am. Yes, a skunk. Oh, what's the use, Shufro? I'm a failure. But why? Why?
Well, I could give you a little hint if it wouldn't make you mad.
Go ahead, Shufro. Don't spare me.
Well, you could have had Mr. Mason's business, but you wouldn't take it.
Well, I couldn't serve a dispossessed notice on a sick man.
Well, that's a fine trade, boss, but what good did it do? They just got themselves another man to do the serving, and the sick man was dispossessed just the same.
You're right, Shufro. What good does it do to be a nice guy? It seems that the only way to get ahead is to be mean and contemptible. All right, if that's what I have to do, I'm going to do it. I'll be a second Dracula. I'll be so mean that... Oh, I couldn't do it.
Yes, you could, boss, if you just work hard and put your mind to it.
I wouldn't even know how to start.
Oh, it's like learning anything else. It takes a little practice. After you do a lot of little mean things, the big ones come natural.
You know what these are? These are peanuts. Nice, fresh peanuts. You'd like them, wouldn't you? Well, you're not going to get it.
What? Why, Shufro, there's nothing to it. All you got to do is make up your mind.
Uh-oh, pigeons can be mean too, can't they?
Come on, let's go. I'm going to learn this mean business from the ground up.
Now you're talking, boss.
Oh, Mr. Clark, I called the beauty parlor and made that appointment for 4:45.
Yeah, well, the office hours here are from 9 to 5, and I expect you to stay until 5.
Well, you passed the first test with flying colors. Now if you can just fly... Uh-oh. Well done, boss. Well done.
And that's not all. Take your picture? Take your picture? Take your picture, Mr. Only. Out of my way or I'll slap you down. How am I doing?
Well, man, it's just taking up the game. Your improvement is remarkable.
Why, there's nothing to it. It's just like taking candy from a...
Well, go ahead then.
Not that, Shufro. Oh, no.
Oh, yes. The others was just small tests. This is your final examination. You pass this, you graduate.
Well. Hello, Sonny.
Hello.
You believe in Santa Claus?
Yes, sir.
Well, there ain't no Santa Claus.
You
Give me
let
that or I'll slug you. Give me this.
You let me have my candy. You let me have my
Hey, this is good.
All right, boss, you got your diploma. Let's run.
What's the matter, Sonny?
I'm sorry, lady. This is my cab.
Oh, no, it isn't. It's mine.
Go on, take a walk. Scram. Come on, Shufro.
New York Athletic Club.
$17, please.
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Oh, good morning, Miss Crockett. Oh, that. You see,
I know. You were hungry.
Yes. Shufro! Shufro!
Shufro, where are you?
Come on, boss.
Come up out of there. Did you see this?
Yes, I did. You sure take a good picture, Mr. Clark.
You know what you've done, don't you? You've ruined me.
You were slightly behind the 8 ball before. I might have sort of banked you in the side pocket.
Imagine offering $100 reward for the... $100 reward? Say. Miss Crockett, get me the city desk of the Daily Star. $100 reward. Well, it's an ill wind that blows nobody. Hello? Hello, Daily Star? I understand you're offering $100 reward for the name of the meanest man in... What? Oh, you've paid the reward. Oh, to a colored gentleman.
A colored gentleman? I wonder who that could be.
Shufro, how could you do this to me?
I was going to split it with you, boss. Honest, I was.
Oh, you were you? What do you want, Miss Crockett? Who's there? Mr. Leggett? I don't know any Mr. Leggett. Oh, Frederick P. Leggett? The millionaire? Well, send him in. We can't keep a man like that waiting around. I don't want a man like you waiting around either. Get out of here. I'll tend to you later. Yes? Yes, Mr. Beaverbrook. Well, of course, we won't argue about $10,000 one way or the other. No. You'll find that I don't quibble about petty cash, Mr. Beaverbrook. Very well, Mr. Beaverbrook. Goodbye. Ah, Mr. Leggett, what can I do for you, sir?
Are you the fellow who did this?
Well, I can explain.
Never mind the explaining. Are you the man? I phoned the paper and they said you were.
Well, yes.
Well, I'm certainly glad to meet you, Mr. Clark. You're the sort of lawyer I've been looking for all my life.
Well, sit right down, Mr. Leggett. Right here. Have a chair.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, I'm a man of few words. Let's get down to business. You want to handle my legal affairs as a retainer of $5,000 a year?
I don't know. After all, a mere $5,000.
Take it or leave it.
After weighing the matter thoroughly, I'll take it.
Right. Here's a certified check for $1,000 to clinch the deal. I want to tell you about your first assignment.
I hope it's a hard one.
Little nasty, maybe, but it won't be anything for a man like you. No. I want to dispossess an old lady from a place I need. Going to put up some new apartment houses.
Well, what's nasty about that? They don't pay their rent? Kick them out.
I'm going to kick her out and put up a new building. After all, they've got institutions for people like that.
Of course they have. How old is she?
Oh, let's see. Can't be more than 70.
Well, I'm sure I can get her on the WPA or the night shift at Lockheed. Mr. Leggett, if all your cases are that easy, I'm afraid I won't be earning my $5,000 a year.
Oh, well, of course, in this one, I'm entirely within my legal rights. But there are some other cases when I'm not so sure of my legal rights.
Well, I wouldn't worry about that. Now, what's this old lady's name?
Mrs. Simon Leggett.
Mrs. Leggett. Leggett, any relation?
Just by marriage. My brother's wife.
Now, don't you worry. You're going to be more comfortable than you've been in years.
I know, but I'm so used to it. It's just like leaving home.
Well, I'm going to give you a place you like much better. Now, you wait and see. Look, Mrs. Leggett, I told you everything would be all right. Hey, you!
My.
Ah, good morning, Mrs. Leggett. Did you sleep well?
Have you seen this?
Well.
Imagine them saying you're mean. Why, I think you're the kindest man in the world.
But don't say that too loud. You'll ruin me.
Ruin you?
Yes, you see, I have a reputation to uphold.
Miss Crockett, boss.
Hello?
Is he coming down or not?
You better come right down.
You want a lawyer?
Why?
I'm a fine lawyer. Did you ever see a meaner face?
Well, that's not bad, but I want Clark.
And the superintendent says if it keeps up, he'll have to charge you rent for the hall.
Well, that just goes to show you if you build a better mousetrap. I'll be down soon, Miss Crockett. Goodbye.
And did you see this?
More?
Suicide feared. At a late hour last night, the Daily Star was unable to trace the whereabouts of Mrs. Frances H. Leggett. They suspected that the old lady, driven from her home, committed suicide, and the Star has asked the authorities to drag the East River for the body.
What are you doing?
I'm going to call that newspaper and tell them it's nothing but a lie.
Oh, now, Mrs. Leggett, please.
But they say I'm missing, and here I am living comfortably in this beautiful apartment.
Now, look, Mrs. Leggett, I haven't time to explain. I've got to get down to the office. But please remember, nobody must know you're here. Do you understand? Nobody.
Nobody?
No. You see, everybody thinks I'm a first-class heel, and it makes me very happy. In fact, the blacker my character is painted, the better it is for me. And if you can say anything nasty about me, Mrs. Leggett, I'll appreciate it very much.
Well, I'll be glad to do anything I can, because you've been so nice to me.
Forget that. If anybody asks you about me, just tell them I'm a brute, a beast, a cad, a scoundrel.
A snake?
Yes, a snake, that's it. I knew I could depend on you. Well, I gotta run. I'll see you tonight. Bye-bye.
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 Miss Crockett says the line is way out in the hall. See, with business like that, I'll have to get myself a junior partner.
Sure, some promising young man who beats his mother.
I tell you, that's the guy. Sure. Give me that bag.
Come on, boy! That star certainly got a big circulation. Even the kids know your face.
We've got to do something.
Wait, there ain't no tomato on me.
Pretty soon.
Come on, Amos. Right in there, Amos.
Who's that?
Friend of mine, Miss Crockett.
Good morning, Miss Crockett. How is you all?
I sure hate to see you take that black off your face. I was going to ask you to do a dance in Harlem tonight.
I got another proposition. You take off your makeup and I'll take you to a dance.
I still think I made the best offer. Here's a telegram, boss.
Thanks. Shufro, clean up around here, will you?
Yes, sir.
Holy smoke, it's 10 after 10. Hello? No, look, I haven't got time to talk. Who? Oh, hello, Mr. Leggett. Mr. Leggett, can I call you back? Yes. Yes, I mailed the contract today. Yeah. Oh, that. Well, that was nothing. Yes, that's right. I threw her out. Oh, she cried a little, but who cares? Yes, you can forget the whole thing now. No, I don't know whether she's dead or not. Anyhow, they haven't found the body.
Well, we've all got to go sometime.
How right you are. Janie! I'm sorry I didn't meet you, dear. I just got your telegram.
I didn't expect you to meet me. Any man who'd do a thing like this would keep a girl waiting all day in a station.
Don't tell me you believe that.
So that's how you make your money.
Just a minute, Mr. Leggett. Now, Janie.
Here I come to New York to buy a trousseau for what? To marry a man who throws old ladies into the street and then laughs about it.
But I didn't do it. This whole thing is a typographical error.
Oh, it is it?
No, it's not. Now, don't worry, Mr. Leggett. I threw her out.
So you admit it?
Janie, believe me, I didn't do it.
You mean to say you didn't throw her out?
I just told you I threw her out. I'll call you back, Mr. Leggett. The office just caught on fire. Janie, will you please listen to me?
If you think I'd have you for the father of my children, you're sadly mistaken. You'd probably starve them and kick them around the house and laugh about that, too.
I can explain the whole thing and you're going to listen. Shufro! Come here.
Yes, sir?
Go get Mrs. Leggett and smuggle her over here, quick.
Yes, sir.
You're going to wait right here.
How do, Miss Janie?
every man is innocent until he's proven guilty. That's the foundation of our democracy. Ah, there she is. Come here, Mrs. Leggett. Now, do you still think she's missing?
No, but...
Janie, I'm surprised at you. How could you think I'd do a thing like that?
But this picture, it shows you dispossessing her.
Mrs. Leggett, maybe you can convince her.
Well, you see, dear, I was living all alone in my little room. It wasn't much, but I was happy. Then he came and threw me into the street. And then he laughed at me.
Mrs. Leggett!
He's the meanest man I ever knew. He's a beast and a brute.
Oh!
And a snake.
Janie, don't believe a word she says.
Did I make it nasty enough?
From now on, his character and my complexion can walk hand in hand.
I don't care what he says, and please don't let him come upstairs.
Yes, ma'am. It seems she doesn't care to see you, sir.
She's got to see me.
823.
Janie, let me in. Janie! Janie, please.
Come on, Mop. Why don't you get an axe?
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You can't do this to me.
Room service? This is 823. Send me up a champagne cocktail right away, please. Wait a minute. Make that 2 champagne cocktails. I'm on my honeymoon.
And stay out.
What happened, Bud? Nothing.
Thank you.
Hey, you! I've had enough of you.
Well, Chief, you were right. They did find a body in the East River.
Swell!
Yeah, the only trouble is the body is only 35 years old, not 70. And it's a man, not a woman. Outside of that, you're a great detective, Chief.
Maybe Clark killed both of them. Get him on the phone, see what he has to say.
What do you think he's going to do, confess?
Whatever he says, it'll sell papers. Wouldn't get him on the phone.
All right, all right. Get me that Clark residence.
Hello? Hello? I'm sorry, but Mr. Clark is out. I don't know when he'll be back.
Who is this talking?
This is, Oh, this is just a lady who lives with him. I'd rather not give my name.
Oh, you live with him, do you? How long has this been going on? Oh, you'd rather not say, huh? Oh, sure, I understand. Sure. Goodbye.
Chief! Hey, Chief!
I beg your pardon.
Two champagne cocktails, please.
Here, have one of mine. I get them wholesale.
Thank you.
You want to know something? I've been drinking too much because you remind me of a girl I know who doesn't drink.
You've got the wrong girl, mister, because I'm a drinking fool. It's funny. You remind me of somebody, too. You remind me of a man I never want to be reminded of again, and I wish you'd stop it.
Hey, do you mind if I slide over a little closer?
He must have had one too many. You said it.
Don't you think you've had enough?
That's just why I'm drinking, because I've had enough.
Was it a man?
Yes. I thought he was sweet and kind. He wasn't very bright. But I didn't care. I loved him, and I was going to marry him. So I came to New York, and I found out he throws old ladies into the street and laughs about it.
Oh, you mean that fella in the newspapers? Oh, he didn't do that. Richard Clark isn't that sort of a person.
Oh, yeah? How do you know?
Well, he belongs to the same club I do, the Bronx Skating and Mahjong Club.
Splendid fella. He couldn't do a thing like that.
But there was a picture about it in the paper. Cut that out.
I'm sorry. The paper? Oh, the paper said it was going to rain today, too.
You know, come to think about it, maybe you're right.
You know, he's miserable just because you won't see him.
I don't know where to find him.
He was outside a little while ago. Maybe he's still there. I'll go and see. Would you mind sliding over a bit, please?
Are you hurt? Are you all right? Did you hurt yourself?
Who pushed me? Hello, Richard.
Stop Bobby Feller's winning streak at 11. Richard Clark, the attorney who's been getting himself some bad publicity the last few days, has a love nest on Park Avenue. The young lady who shares the nest is said to be an ex-Follies girl. And here's an interesting item from the chicken ranch in California.
My nerves, Shupro. Look at me. I'm trembling like a leaf.
Don't worry, boss. On you, it looks good.
Good morning, Casanova.
Good morning. Mr. Leggett here yet?
No, he phoned and called it off. In fact, he called the whole deal off.
What?
He says he can't afford to be associated with a man who has a love nest.
I haven't got a love nest.
All I know is what I read in the papers.
What's this? Vladimir Pulaski.
346 pounds stripped. Of course, I just took his word for that.
What does he want?
He wants to be your bodyguard.
I don't need a bodyguard.
I heard different.
Stick 'em up. I said stick 'em up.
How's that, Mr. Brown?
Luring my daughter to New York to get married and putting her up in a love nest, eh? But don't try to lie out of it. I have a good mind to let
Don't you, Mr. Brown. I'll get his hands up.
You get over there and stay there.
Don't worry about me, Mr. Brown. I'm paralyzed.
Come on, Judge, get his feet.
No, Mr. Clark is out. Yes, he's really out. Pulaski. Pulaski, where are you, Pulaski?
Wait a minute, Mr. Brown. Could I just say a few words?
Shut up!
I've told you, Dad, I'll never marry him.
Everybody in Pottsville knows you ran away to marry him, and everybody in Pottsville will know you didn't marry him. What are they going to think when they see that love nest story?
I don't care what they think.
Well, I do.
Well, you yourself said you didn't like Richard, Dad, and you didn't want me to marry him.
I don't like him, but he's not going to do this to my daughter.
I didn't do anything to your daughter. I've told you 100 times Janie's not the girl in the love nest.
Well, who is the girl in the love nest?
She's no girl. She's a very
It's
old...
no use, Dick. We might as well confess. I was the girl, Dad.
So?
Janie, how can you
It's
say
sweet
that?
of you to try to protect me, Dick, but I can't lie anymore.
Then I was right. Why, you miserable...
Look, Mr. Brown, I'm a very nervous man. Either marry me or shoot me, but let's get it over with.
Well, now, may I suggest something, Arthur?
Well, what is it, Judge?
Well, these two people have made a mistake, but I don't think it's entirely their fault. You can't expect a fellow from a small town to come to New York without getting into some kind of trouble.
How true that is.
Well, you told me yourself, Arthur, when you were a young man and came to New York.
Judge, I'll thank you to keep your big mouth shut.
Exactly, but when you returned to the little town, you settled down, and since then have led a most exemplary life. Now, what you ought to do is to let me marry them. That will stop all gossip. Then Richard can return to Pottsville as lawyer for the bank.
You mean give up my New York career? Why, Leggett is paying me $15,000 a year alone.
Well, we don't need $15,000 a year in Pottsville. We'll take $7,500.
Oh, all right, Judge. Go ahead. Hitch him up.
Don't you think it might be better if you would untie us before you tie us?
I'm taking no chances until this is over. Go ahead.
Oh, just a minute, Judge. All right, Shufro.
boss.
This is nice. I haven't been to a wedding in years.
Mrs. Leggett explained everything.
Oh, and you wouldn't believe me.
Who's this?
Technically, she'd be known as the correspondent. Proceed, Judge.
If any man can show just cause why they should not lawfully be joined together, let him now speak, or else hereafter forever hold his peace.
Just a minute, Judge.
There's the kidnapper.
How am I doing, boss?